So here's the situation. I leave for Colorado Tack in about 4 or 5 days. I've got a dozen of my hunting arrows set up here, which are mostly white with an indicator vein out. And you know, this is what I'm gonna hunt with. 100 grains up front. It's a like 400 grain arrow. It's perfect for whitetail here. The problem is I can't see them very good as they fly. I thought all white would be a little more visible as it flies through the air, and I don't seem to see it as good. And I don't want to blow these all up in the Total Archery Challenge woods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a dozen new arrows. That's what these Easton Axis long range here are for. That are the exact same weight, the exact same fletchings, wrap, everything. And they're going to be a little different color. We're going to try to brighten them up a little bit, see if I can see them better. And we'll actually put them to the test, see if we can see yellow. Surprise, we're going with a fluorescent yellow knock, or fletching, and a fluorescent yellow wrap. So we're going to try to brighten these up as much as we can. I've even got some pretty bright flow green biter 12-2 hunter nocks, which I love these nocks, but they are hard to find, so I don't know that I'm going to have enough of them, but we're going to try to use these exact same nocks that I'm using on my hunting arrows, just a little brighter. The problem is going to be finding a dozen of them to put on those new arrows, so we'll see how that goes. But we're going to build super fast so that we can try them out. Some tack arrows that are the exact same as my hunting arrows. If I were to need them, I could just rip the wrap off, put a new wrap on them, and be ready to hunt with them in the future. But for now, I just need them for Total Archery Challenge as a good kind of warm up for deer season in the near future. So stick around, let's fletch these arrows up, test them out, see how they fly, see how they look, and get ready for Total Archery Challenge. All right, so here's what we're working with: a dozen Easton Axis long range. Really like these arrows. They are, you know, I've used them for a long time, had good success with them. We're going to be using a 2.75 tack driver vein in this kind of fluorescent yellow color. Pairing them with a, I have to cut that, a yellow wrap from tack. It's not the exact same color, but it's close enough. It's going to be bright, and that's what we're all about, is just getting bright, being able to see them, so we kind of know where they're hit. I'd love to be able to use lighted nocks on all of them, but I'm not going to be able to do that either. I got some just basic cheap 100 grain tips from Academy. These are the Easton components that come with these arrows. So first thing I'm going to do is get our wraps installed, and then we will get our inserts in, we will paper tune, and then we'll start fletching. Set up good there. So what I like to do is just get it where it just comes over and meets back up with the wrap. So I've got maybe 1/8 of an inch there, and then I'll take my razor blade and I'll just slide that down the shaft, taking that off so we don't have that much overlap, and we'll just grease that on. Wouldn't be much of a difference, maybe a grain or so, but I do like not having a big kind of a lip there where they've overlapped. So I do think that makes them a little smoother. And you can actually order them from Tack where they're the exact size for these arrows. Got our dozen arrows with our bright fluorescent yellow wraps installed, and now we are going to put our inserts in so that we can start paper tuning them before we fletch them. One cool thing about when you order like tack wraps, they send you extras. So I had one that I had to redo the wrap itself, so you have extras here. Hang on to those. You may want to you know, redo one down the road or something. So, all right, so before I use the hot melt and a torch and I put these inserts in, I'm gonna take a Q-tip, just any carbon that might be in there from the cutting process, like you can see right there. I want to get that off. And these 4mm just happen to fit just about perfect on a micro, or on a Q-tip. I should say, I guess a Q-tip fits perfect on a micro diameter arrow. But any little bit of carbon that's in there, we want to get that out so that the glue attaches perfectly. Heat up the glue itself. Just rub some of that on this insert part of this. Do it pretty thick. That'll focus. Put it on there pretty thick. Now I'm going to heat this up, cram it in, and shove it down as quick as I can to try to not have to. Sometimes if you don't get it quick enough, you'll have to reheat the shaft and redo it, which is not fun. So what I've started doing is I'll let them dry, and then I can peel that off a lot easier instead of having to do it while it's somewhat cool, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna let that one cool off. All right, so we've got our wraps on, we've got our outserts, half outs, whatever you want to call them, on with 100 grain tips on there. We're gonna try to paper tune with these nocks that come with these Easton arrows. Not crazy about them. I really want to use these biter nocks, but I just don't have enough of them. If we have issues paper tuning, I'll have to use a little bit I've got, maybe take some off my hunting arrows for a little bit while I'm at this event. So we'll see. But right now, we're gonna paper tune these, see if we can get them to fly straight. So this is what's crazy, and I think a lot of people don't realize, is these two shots are with the standard nock that comes with an Easton Axis long range. You can see there's a left tear. Points hitting here, knocks over here. I think it's because they're just really tight. This is a biter nock. Just dang near bullet hole. This is a biter nock. Now because where it hit the paper, it ripped the paper, but the hole itself is dang near a bullet hole. So two consistent left tears with the stock nock. That's obviously tighter. The biter nock, 12-2 Hunter, is just about a bullet hole. So I'm gonna have to use those biter nocks to get a good, clean, consistent arrow. All right, so we've paper tuned every arrow, and what you'll see is on the wrap itself, I put a little paint pen mark. That needs to be up every time I shoot these arrows. So now we are going to go ahead and fletch them. And the way I do it is I want this always facing, that mark I made, always facing up. So when I put this in, it'll always be up, and then I'll rotate around as I go. And since all three of these are the same, I don't actually have like an indicator vane, so I just want to make sure that little mark is up every time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use my tack primer. Always use the primer for the arrows you are buying, or for the fletchings you are buying. Hit these veins with some primer. I like to kind of work in batches of 3 arrows, so what I'm going to do here, there we go, just want that to get wet. So I like to work in batches of 3 arrows, so what I'm going to do is I've got 9 fletchings out since I'm doing a 3 fletch, and I'm going to hit all 9 of these with the primer. And then I'm going to attach these 9 arrows, and then I'll get 9 more out and just keep working like that. And in reality, I probably won't even do all 12 of them today because I get bored of this fairly quick, and it is hot and humid, and I have other things to do today. So I'll try to get 6 of them done today, and then I'll do the other 6 tomorrow, and I'll be able to shoot these 6 that I'm doing right now tomorrow. Using the tack glue, don't try to use super glue or anything like that. Try to save a buck. Just use the glue that comes for these arrows. And I'm just going to dab it down the channel. And then I'll take that nozzle and just kind of run it up and down that channel, make sure it fills the channel up. Alright, so open, pull, And then every time I wipe that off, because you will get some glue buildup on that if you're not careful. And on to the next one. Okay, give that a wipe down. So now's where you need the Q-tips, because I use a fair amount of glue, so I get a lot of kind of glue that squeezes out, and that's where these Q-tips are great, just to run them down the edge of those veins. And any glue that squeezed out, I'm just kind of hopefully making a little seal there as it presses against that wrap and that vein. And I plan for about 1 Q-tip per arrow, because it's going to harden, because it is some kind of a super glue. So next thing, I want to put a dab at the top. If I didn't squeeze enough out, sometimes you'll squeeze enough out that you don't have to do this, but like 2 of those 3 I had to put a little on. And I might put just a tad on the back. Don't think it's crucial on the back. If nothing else, I'm going to leave them like this to dry, so it's going to run down if there's any in there. But beautiful arrow, nice and bright. I think it's going to be great. All right, new arrows, ready to test them out. I do have the biter nocks on there that I wanted. I got them on all of them, but they don't match. As much as that irritates me to build new arrows and the nocks are all different colors, I think we're just going to have to go with it and shoot them and see how it works. They're like 0.8 grains bigger than my actual hunting arrows, but they should be a lot easier to see in flight. So we're gonna go shoot some bombs. I leave for TAC in about 2 days, and let's see how they do. All right, 70 yards. See if these fly straight. All right, 70 yards, first time out. Nothing really to aim at but a kill zone. I'll take that. You know, I'm not a professional archer by any means, but I got the core of those are pretty good. A couple to the left that I'd call flyers. I know one of them, probably this one. I know when I let it go, that's a shoulder shot. So these ones in the middle, I felt like were pretty good, I'm guessing, and I'll take that. Again, TAC, I'm just trying to hit vitals and kill shots. So I think these Fletchings look good flying through the air. I can see them as they leave my bow. I can watch them. So I think this is a good color combo for a total archery challenge.